The tree. Poets weave their words of admiration. Artists capture every texture. And as metaphors go, there are none quite so perfect as the tree. For centuries, it has been the symbol of strength. We point to its roots as the quintessential portrait of stability. But the truly remarkable nature of the tree occurs day in and day out, and goes largely unnoticed. Every day, it takes in unwanted gases and releases oxygen, allowing us to survive and to thrive. Again, the perfect metaphor for those in our community who give, day in and day out, going largely unnoticed, taking in those who some in our society have deemed unwanted, expendable, and through nurturing hands, allowing them to survive and to thrive. Tonight we honor all of those who give by shining the sunlight on some of the mightiest trees in the forest. The 2015 winners of the Charitable Giving Awards.
I'm Keith Miller, president of Greenville Technical College. As a college that works to drive personal and economic growth through learning, we are proud to sponsor an award that recognizes that spirit in others. It's my pleasure to introduce this year's recipient, who has had a tremendous impact on education in the region, in the state, and the nation. He has also been a true partner to Greenville Technical College, joining us as we have worked to create a Center for Manufacturing Innovation to serve the needs of the advanced manufacturers that drive our economy. Congratulations.
It sort of begins with, for me, the decision to come to Clemson in the first place and study architecture. I just determined in high school that that was a good answer to the question of what you want to be when you grow up. It sounded interesting and maybe a little bit noble and challenging and so on. So for me, the experience I had here, my wife and I were married, lived in married student housing here. And the next time we lived on campus was in the president's home, so it was quite a transition there. But I think the thing I guess I'm most proud of was the opportunity to serve my alma mater as president. And it was a dream I never had. I mean, it was just beyond comprehension. So being able to do that for 14 years was such a joy. I think one of the things that would stand out for me was our relationship with Greenville. We're now starting to see bearing some real fruit with the things that are happening at ICAR. Not just a dream anymore, but becoming an integral part of the business and economic development part of the upstate. The relationship with Greenville Hospital, Greenville Health System, and the work we're doing with the surgeons and our bioengineers together. The graduate school and business downtown. All of those are sort of finding embedded opportunities for students to learn in ways they couldn't learn if they stayed on this campus. And that kind of integration has been, I think, a pretty remarkable achievement.
Jim Barker is one of those special people. He truly is remarkable, and the more you get to know him, the more you understand that. There are a lot of Clemson graduates in the world today who are very successful, that in large part owe that success to Jim Barker.
The fact that we set a goal to become a top 20 public university, measured by U.S. News and World Report, and we worked towards that goal, knowing it would take several years, and it did. But we achieved it, and I think that's something that sort of helped Clemson's self-concept in a significant way. I've been honored enough. You know, I'm very comfortable with the idea of, I always dreamed of being able to be a faculty member at Clemson. And so I'm going about my duties of getting prepared for class, and this letter arrives and says that your work is appreciated, and you know, it's wonderful. And it's especially with the idea that it's the Greenville community and the Greenville Foundation and the Greenville Publication, Town Magazine. I mean, that's particularly gratifying, and so I feel very fortunate.
I'm Mike Reardon, President and CEO of Greenville Health System. We are pleased to sponsor the 2015 Healthcare Transformation Award. GHS has been committed to supporting the health of our community for over 100 years, and our vision to transform healthcare for the benefit of the people and communities we serve is reflected beautifully in the core intention of this prestigious award. It honors an outstanding individual or entity who actively and compassionately works to transform the health of our community through contributions of time, talent, and treasure. It is my great pleasure to present this year's award. Congratulations.
So the school in Greenville actually was established in order to help transform healthcare. And it really relates to the relationship between the Greenville Health System here in Greenville and the University of South Carolina. The goal on the healthcare delivery system side is actually to progressively start providing healthcare instead of just good medical illness treatment. So for a very long time, the system has been excellent at taking care of you if you were sick or injured, but before you get sick or injured, or after you get sick or injured, you're pretty much on your own, not just here, but across America. And so our goal in the healthcare delivery system side is actually to get involved with the community in helping people take care of themselves, try and have good prevention, good nutrition, good exercise, wellness on the front end to keep you out of the emergency room and out of the hospital. And then if you do become sick or injured, take really good care of you. And then after you go home, to continue to work with you again through the community resources in order to return you to optimal function and health. So we actually are already seeing fruits of all of this. We're getting ready to graduate our first class next spring. And we are seeing some real substantive examples of change.
He really looked at, how do we bring sort of the delivery system, the hospital, together with medical education. In so many communities, it's separate, and then we sort of hope that links up later. But Jerry was committed to sort of overlapping and interweaving them together so that we could have the best clinical physician to work in the best clinical environment. So he's meant a lot to the School of Medicine, and he's meant a lot to me personally.
There were many times, frankly, in the development of the school that we questioned whether we could make it. There were all sorts of issues in terms of physical facilities and budget and even political. But Jerry was the one who said, let's go. Let's get up and go. We've got to do this.
Your most important responsibility in a leadership role is actually to help all those people that you're working with that are supposedly working for you, that I actually see myself working for, to help them be functional so you can leverage your own goals by having others work for you toward the good of the patients and the community. All in all, Greenville and the upstate of South Carolina is the neatest place I've ever lived. I'm a poster child for the chamber when I recruit students, faculty, and so forth. And as a giving community, so there's two aspects to that. Number one, the community of Greenville is generous. Equally important is the business side of the community. And of all the places I've lived, many of them are able to establish a vision. Very few of them are able to implement the vision. And Greenville, when you look back to the 50s and 60s, where it was, where it is, the generation that started that, the generation that picked it up has been incredibly driven and successful to make this a better community. And I think that probably is at least as important as the charitable aspect of things. And so it's just a neat place to be.
I am Greta Somerville, a member of Cascades for a Day, Greenville's premier continuing care retirement community, a community that houses all levels of care from independent to skilled and assisted living. Cascades is committed to providing the best in retirement living. We are proud to be a Charitable Giving Award sponsor and honored to introduce this year's recipient of the Community Spirit Award. It requires a lot of time, love, and compassion to empower and lift up those in need, who in turn will be able to empower those who follow them. This year's recipient has displayed all these qualities. The impact of their work will be felt in our community for many years to come. Thank you.
The mission of Pendleton Place is to keep children safe and support families in crisis through prevention, assessment, and intervention. And what that means basically is we work with children and families who have been in very vulnerable situations. We protect, equip, and heal both children and families that have had abuse, neglect, domestic violence, trauma. We have had a tremendous success. We are an organization that was founded by the Junior League in 1975. At that time, children were sleeping in jails because there was not a home for children who were removed from their home. In the early years, we did a great job of keeping children safe. They temporarily lived with us, but we didn't have any involvement with their families, with their caseworker. Today, we are removing those barriers. State funding is actually our smallest amount of funding now, whereas 4 years ago it was 80%, now it's 10%. And frankly, we'd be closed if we did not live in a community like Greenville. We were a group home, all those years, and facilities like ours closed across the state. Spartanburg, their program closed. We literally had the legs cut out from under us in terms of the population that we were serving, and we had one service. So not only is Greenville extremely philanthropic, and thank you Greenville for that, but not only is Greenville extremely philanthropic, but they are giving with their time and their brain power, and that has helped us to achieve the success.
Pendleton Place did a very good job in a very tough situation. And they took the proverbial lemons and made lemonade. And I think that, the executive director and the staff really deserve the recognition for what they've done, because they have taken a program that's existed for, 40 years, and that was on the edge of possibly going out of business, and made it into something that's really special.
When I first heard that we were receiving this honor, it came in a very difficult time. For me personally, that week was just a stressful week, and it came so out of the blue. It's not something that we applied for. That told me that others were watching us and seeing what we're doing. I feel so honored, truthfully, and it's an accolade for all the people that are working in this organization. We work very long hours, and we put in our heart and soul to help these children and families. But we know that the work that we're doing is really helpful, and to be honored like this is, frankly, it was just amazing.
I'm Linda Hannon, District Manager with Duke Energy. We are proud to be a leader in our industry and in the communities we serve, creating a safe, secure, and responsible energy future. One of our primary goals at Duke Energy is to serve and support the communities where we live, making a difference through philanthropic and volunteer efforts. We're proud to be the sponsor of the Philanthropic Spirit Award. This is an award that honors a business that fosters charitable giving and is dedicated to giving back to the upstate in a significant manner. Tonight, we would like to recognize a company that exemplifies the community outreach and citizenship we could all learn from. They make our communities a better place through their contributions and involvement. It is my great pleasure to present this year's Philanthropic Spirit Award. Congratulations.
Well, when I first came to Greenville, worked with Shell Oil Company, and I had 15 service stations, so I got to know the town really well because I drove all over Greenville, and it was such a pleasure. It was a community that, from the very beginning, honestly, it was a community that welcomed us, and I know in our case, as we've had some success, we've been willing to share because this is our community. I mean, this is where we put down roots.
We donate to Meals on Wheels, and I have a little route that I've had for years where I deliver Meals on Wheels. We also donate to a school in Africa where a local family, a local lady, Wink McLeod, lost her child in a car wreck. So we donate to that as an international donation. And then another organization that we really back is Favor, Faces and Voices of Recovery, which is here in Greenville, and we have supported that to help families who have children with addiction and to find recovery.
The fact that the Greenville Community Foundation are honoring them for all the work that they do across the community, giving at least 10% of their proceeds to upstate communities, upstate charitable organizations, and families across the upstate means so much to the culture of who South Carolina is. We are a giving state, we are a friendly state, but we are a charitable state. And I cannot think of a better family that needs to be honored than the Spinks family and team for all the work that they've done.
Every one of our stores is a small business, and it's all over. I mean, in Greenville County alone, we have 40 stores. So consequently, what happens is we have an opportunity, obviously, to hear of a lot of needs in local areas. We encourage our general managers of our store to bring us what you feel like would add value in your community and what you have a passion for. And most of the time, just like what Martha said about Favor, it's something that they've been touched by, something that they have a need for, and that they recognize the community at large has similar needs.
I think it's important to honor Martha and Stuart, not only because of their lifetime of giving, but also because of the kind of giving that they do. They don't just give, they invest. They investigate, they do their homework, they get involved. They typically give to organizations that help people that want to help themselves.
We just love Greenville, and to be honored like this is very humbling.
To just have been a part of it, just a little bitty part of it, is and to be acknowledged for that is just a special reward for just doing the right thing. And I think so many people in this community just simply do the right thing.
When I moved to Greenville in the early 70s, it was not the Greenville that we're enjoying today. And it was just hard for me to get a grip on what made Greenville run. And then I was real active in the junior league, and they did a great job of teaching you about the community and the needs of the community, and then helping you get involved. And so that was really my first eye-opening experience. And then from that, I served on a number of different boards in Greenville, and was asked to serve on the Community Foundation Board. I was honored to be asked to serve, and it was just another eye-opening experience, a different side of Greenville. I think people just need to be invited to participate, and I think the Community Foundation does a good job of that. There are lots of different things that the Community Foundation's been involved in that volunteers are involved in. One of the things that I've been involved in was Greenville Women Giving. It's taking a group of women and together working to educate ourselves about the needs in the community, and then together deciding how to put our money into those things to make a difference in the quality of life.
She has an innate sense, I think, of just knowing the right thing to do. We have a saying, at least some of us within Greenville Women Giving, we say WWHD. What would Harriet do? Because she always seems to know the right thing to do and how other people might be feeling in a situation, and is so sensitive to that.
She's a very key person in the community in general, but for the Community Foundation, she led us through a period of unprecedented growth. We went from about 30 million in assets to 60 million in assets during her tenure as our board chair.
I love the Community Foundation, and I've enjoyed my work with them. And it's just been amazing to watch things happen in Greenville, and to be able to play just a small part in all of the things that have happened has been a great experience.